everyone, welcome back to I'll Be Right Back Horror with Nadia, and today I am talking about A Quiet Place Day 1. But before we get into it, please hit that like and subscribe button. I do horror movie breakdowns and reviews throughout the channel. I also do every Tuesday a segment on horror news, so please go ahead and check that out. There will be spoilers in this review, but I will mark where the spoilers start, so don't worry, the first half will be non-spoiler. So let's get into A Quiet Place Day 1. So A Quiet Place Day 1 is a prequel. It is set before the 2008 story of the Abbotts. It's also directed by Michael Sarnoski, who directed Pig, by the way, with Nicolas Cage. Recommend that one. This is the third installment in the Quiet Place storyline, but it's a prequel. And it's written by John Krasinski and Brian Wood. We're introduced to Lupita Nyong'o, which I hope I said that right, character Sam. And this is day one of the invasion as her character's out with a group in New York seeing a kind of like a marionette show, Pinocchio. And this is the early stages of the invasion happening of the Death Angels here. Sam has to figure out how to survive. She meets Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, and the two together go through a journey. It definitely gives me some Frodo, Sam, Lord of the Rings vibes. Her cat, her emotional support cat, is named Frodo. I liked this as a prequel. There's more of a human element in the story here, even more so than the Abbott story. To me, it's not as scary as the 2008. If you're looking for a true monster movie, I don't think it's here. There's a few jump scares, but the movie really focuses on Sam and eventually Sam and Eric's relationship as they try to make it through New York City. It's a good addition to the Quiet Place storyline. I almost kind of wish it had come out prior to the 2018 film. I think that story, the Abbott storyline, would have more of a bigger punch potentially. All right, now we're going to get into spoiler territory for this movie. So if you haven't seen it, it is out in theaters now. Go ahead and check it out. Come back. I'm going to mark it right here. Spoilers ahead.
If we stay here, we die.
So throughout this first act, death follows Sam pretty much everywhere. She's dying of a cancer. It's not really known the diagnosis, and she's in hospice. She's very young. She's one of the youngest people there. You see it throughout the opening. There's a scene where she opens up her closet, and all that's in it is the yellow sweater that she wears for the day and a suit in plastic, which I assume to be her funeral attire. There's also a really nice scene. I wouldn't call it nice, but a very good scene where she's on the bus and she looks out the window and she sees a massive graveyard with New York City skyline in the back. So she's going on this adventure, and also her cat name, like I said, is Frodo, and her name is Sam. A little bit of Lord of the Rings, I guess, vibes here going on. They have to go on a journey, so it's pretty on the nose. So when Sam gets into the city, she's pretty headstrong about getting a slice of pizza. She was promised by the nurse that took the hospice patients to this activity that they would get pizza in the city. I get it. Sometimes pizza outside of the city you live really sucks. I'm from Chicago. Chicago tavern style pizza, way better in the city than some random place in the suburb. She wants this particular pizza because it reminds her of where her father would take her for a slice after he would perform a piano at a local bar. She's accepting that she'll be dead soon, so this is almost, in a sense, her last hurrah to get this. And it's also known at the end, or closer to the end, that her father died almost similar to what she has. Now, Jamin Hansu is in this. He's in the Quiet Place Part 2. He ends up killing a guy for screaming. I mean, I completely understand that in the situation you're trying to protect your family, but it's really cool to kind of see these touches in including the second one. While the invasion is taking place in a way, it makes Sam almost want to start living again because she wants to at least live to the point where she can get this slice of pizza. So instead of actually going to rescue, where helicopters are announcing, go to the Bay Area, there are boats, there's, we're going to be evacuating people, she decides to go the opposite way because she wants that last slice of pizza because she knows she's going to be dying soon. Now, her cat ends up finding Eric after one of the most horrific scenes of a mob of people getting destroyed by the Death Angels. It's pretty fast that people pick up that if you make sound, it attracts these things. But in this mob scene, obviously not everybody would know this. So people are like rolling people in wheelchairs, they're like rolling suitcases, and there was a really cool scene from afar. You see one of these death angels on the side of a building, almost like spiders. Now, when the cat finds, or when Frodo finds Eric, Eric then helps Sam kind of get that slice of pizza and essentially get home. I wish there was a little bit more substance to Eric as a character, in his motivation on wanting to help Sam. It basically go from the opposite way of safety. I did love their chemistry. Both the characters' chemistry was great. It's just two people trying to survive an alien invasion, and they develop a care for each other. I just want more of a reason of why Eric is there, why he decides to help someone go the opposite way of safety instead of going to evacuation. And like, is it because he saw maybe his mother die of the same thing? Something just to kind of give it a little bit more substance and relatability to why a stranger would help another stranger in this situation. There are some really cool scenes with the Death Angels. It looks like they definitely upped their budget. There's really a cool aspect of them running in packs instead of where the Abbots you might have seen one or two together. Here you'll see like six or seven just running across buildings and stuff. It's pretty cool. And you can tell there's a bigger budget, better looking CGI to these creatures.
Save every.
There's a scene, it really bothers me, where Eric is on his way back from the pharmacy after finding fentanyl patches for Sam. Now, you got to remember, Sam is dying of cancer. She is going through a lot of things right now that normally normal people would be worn out from. Think of your body's actually dying. So she is on her last leg. So he goes to find this to help give her some relief. And on the way back, Frodo decides to take him into basically the main hive of the Death Angels in New York, where you see basically the ultimate like big boss mother bee, like like a huge death angel. And this whole time I'm thinking like, no man, F this cat. This cat will survive. This cat survived up to until now. Forget this cat. And listen, I'm an animal lover. I have two dogs and a cat, but this cat literally led him to the center of a hive where there's a bunch of death angels in the ultimate one. No, thank you. Now, at the end, Sam ends up sacrificing herself, which I definitely saw coming, giving her yellow sweater over to Eric, which is the yellow sweater that her father had. You see this in a photo that shows at the end. And she makes a bunch of noise to lead the Death Angels away from Eric as he's running off into the lake, into, I guess, the river or lake or whatever that is over there, and tries and swims across to the boat of survivors, making it with Frodo, by the way, with the cat. This is like the third or fourth time this cat has been underwater and hasn't like not had an issue at all, just chilling. And she leaves a very sweet note for him, telling him to take care of the cat and thanking him on this, taking her on this journey home. And then the last scene of the movie is she's listening to music. She's carrying a speaker with her iPod in it, and she pulls it off to let the music play, and you see a death angel just like superhero jumps behind her, and that's the end. All in all, I give this maybe a 2.5, 3 out of 5. A few jump scares, not so scary. I really expected to be on edge, similar to the 2018 one, how it had me in theaters. But it was a very good, impactful human story about life and death. What do we stay alive for? The journey that we take. What means to us the most in times of real dire needs. So again, 2.5, 3. I enjoyed it. I would definitely be interested to watch all three in a row to kind of see the whole story together. Thank you for joining me on my review of A Quiet Place Day 1. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on the way out and comment below what you thought of A Quiet Place Day 1 if you've seen it. Are you excited to see it? Has my review made you want to see it or not? Just give me a comment below. And thank you, everybody. Stay spooky.